Welcome to PNRShow, Season 1, Episode 20, The Amber Days of Summer.
I'd rather have lager than lie. I'll take a strong stout over stride. I prefer to confer with a half pint of ale and live a long life till my private parts fail. For life without liquor is to no avail. So bring me lager for lager. I'd rather have lager than lie.
Always follow your heart, as long as it leads to beer. The PNRShow Return Show is here, and we're ready to podcast, talking about beer, talking about life, talking about bubblegum, and all things here in strife. I couldn't think of anything about that rhymed with life. But
I thought you were going to rhyme with bubblegum.
Talking about anything but our wives. This is episode 20 of the PNRShow Return Show. Thank you so much for joining us, all you faithful listeners out there. We would love for you to recommend us to your friends. Show them where to find us. We are at PNRShow.com. You can also find us on the YouTubes. You can find us on Stitcher. It's just literally everywhere. It's a growing phenomenon, almost like a dull winter cold that just won't go away in July. And we're here to talk about beer today. And with me, as always, is Jeremy, Gary, and Keith. Hi, guys.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hi, Keith.
We've been off for a while.
It's been almost, over a month? Terrible.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been close to that, if not.
Wowie wow.
I think we did have one in June. It was like June 4th.
Really?
That was our last show.
The podcast standards and practices are getting after us for not being regular.
I've
like
been
an
regular.
older.
I've been regular.
You know what? I was going for a regular joke, and y'all beat me to it. So look, it's been rough not having the podcast for a few weeks. I've not been. Look, I'm looking at episode 19 was on May 20th.
Oh, was it May? I thought it was June 4th.
More.
We tried to do June 4th. We just didn't.
We just failed.
Did not coalesce.
Miserably.
So we tried to do one last week. We have a special fill-in show that we're going to do. We are going to do. I think once we finish this Texas unit of beers, we're going to do our special summer surprise. So we won't talk about it now just yet.
Well, it'll be the next time one person can't make it, and then we'll
I think we should
use that as a fill-in.
I think we should do it.
Trust me, that's going to happen soon.
Okay.
It'll work.
So anyway, we want to, of course, thank the Poxy Boggards, specifically Stu Venable, for using his music. I don't know how much longer I need to keep thanking him. I thanked him a lot.
In perpetuity.
Yeah.
Well, until we have actual credits that roll up on the show, then we have to keep thanking him.
Well, we have to do it. Some people listen to us just on audio. Like I listen to us just on audio. But anyway, so you can find the Poxy Boggards material and music at iTunes or at poxyboggards.com. POXYBOGGARDS. Rather have lager than life. It's kind of our theme, our mantra for this show. So it's great that they allowed us to use that music, and thank you to the Poxy Boggards. Keith, I didn't talk to you before the show because we tried to get rolling really quickly. Was there any feedback?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
There probably was, actually, and I haven't had a chance
I got some feedback. It was kind of
I don't
offline.
know.
When are you going to have a show again?
Because I can't hear anything anymore.
You can't hear me anymore? Was I never on?
I hear you fine.
Oh,
Keith is
okay.
Keith's starting to freeze up.
That might be by design on his part.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Oh, look. Okay. Anyway, the feedback was, when are you going to have a show again?
Yeah, exactly. I was in the email today requesting some other stuff on our behalf, and I didn't see any emails come in. But I didn't check a lot of the other places that we could get feedback, which is so many. So, sorry about that, guys. But
Yeah,
there's
example,
been no phone calls, and there was no emails.
Yeah. We're reachable on the Twitters individually. Keith's at Wolfman K. Gary is at Always Breaking. Jeremy is at Jeremy Brooks. I am at RebRob, R-A-B-R-O-B. And we've got the PNR Show at PNR Show on Twitters, as well as our email addresses and our website, and so many places that you can contact us. And look, it really just is a sick, pathetic attempt for attention.
Pretty much, yeah.
We really just want to know that even one person is listening, which I know.
Doesn't that define the internet?
Yeah, it does.
It's really pretty much all that the internet has become is everyone's individual sick, pathetic cries for attention.
That and politicians.
Again, same thing.
Yeah. All right. We have beer, right?
Beer? Awesome.
Rob,
Cricket
what are you drinking
myself.
tonight? This is one of the Texas beers. Oh, they're back. Rob.
Rob.
Maybe he can't hear.
He hates when I do the crickets, but I was cricketing myself, so.
Oh, I sort of blipped. That might have been him.
Oh, maybe he is trying to talk.
There we go. Okay.
Yay!
Sorry, for some reason I lost microphone and headphone.
Ah.
I can hear you now.
Oh, excellent.
Great, great.
I heard I got the crickets, so that's great.
Yeah, you did. We were waiting for
All
you to
right.
introduce the beer.
Guys, ready to go on with the beer?
Yes.
We were trying.
All right. We are continuing a little our Texas unit, only a month in separation.
It's this close.
Is my audio like way behind?
Yeah, you are.
It seems that you are lagging something fierce.
Oh, wow.
Everyone else seems to be in real time.
Okay, so what we are going to do is do our next St. Arnold's beer. We did the Lawnmower, which was really good. And we've got St. Arnold's Amber. St. Arnold, once again, is a brewery really very, very close to downtown Houston. It's known in the area as the best brewery to go to, best brewery tour to go to get ragingly drunk.
It's always a good
And have a picnic at the same time. So yeah. What we've got here is an ale, handcrafted, microbrewed, 5.5% alcohol by volume, and I'm looking forward to a nice, crisp amber ale. You guys have anything to say? Yeah.
No, I don't have anything to say. I've never had this beer.
Other than God bless St. Arnold, the patron saint of brewers.
Yeah, apparently he lived from 580 AD to 640 AD, which is 60 years.
60 years drunk.
Yeah. You know, you don't need that actual bottle opener because it's one of those kind.
Yeah, but it was so much more.
I got a new beer glass.
Dramatic.
Oh, that smells really good.
See my new beer glass?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
UC Davies.
And it's even got a different logo on the inside that you probably can't see over the internet.
Yeah,
That was my Father's Day present from guess who?
The kid that goes to UC Davies?
You're good. You're sharp.
That's
She
where
can put that on her student account and debt.
I spent $40,000 on my kid's education, and all I got was this lousy glass.
That's right.
Yeah. It was
You
a
probably
nice
paid for the
gesture.
glass, too.
Yeah, probably. She knew I would like a beer glass. Isn't it sweet? She knows
It
her
is
dad.
sweet.
All right.
Okay, so it's got a nice kind of a creamy head on the top, and had a really good aroma coming off. A nice buttery, ambery thing we're used to. So, all right, it's been a while. We all need beer, so Prost.
Mm.
Is it just me, or is that a tad funky for an amber?
It tastes like a Pilsner or a lager.
Yeah, it's got a texture that's big and bright, and I don't normally get that in amber.
No. Maybe they put the wrong label on the bottle.
For all 6.
Well, it's definitely
Or, I
malty,
mean,
and like an amber should be, but it's got this like mouthfeel that doesn't match its style.
I've got like a kind of almost a hoppy, verging towards a pale ale tannic taste to it.
Yeah. To me, it's definitely more in that vein than an amber. And mine is really light. I mean, it's like a light pale ale, not even like a regular pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't know. I really like it.
I think it's mislabeled.
It's one of the best ambers I've had, which is probably because it doesn't taste like an amber. It does taste a little more along a pale ale, or I mean, the mouthfeel is almost. Somebody said it. I think it was Gary. The Pilsnery. Mm-hmm. It's got like big, bold, bright bubbles.
Yeah. Well,
it's not what I would call smooth at all, but that's not bad. It's good. It cleans up the mouth. It's very refreshing.
Maybe I'll put some brew salt in there and see what happens.
It's a good summer amber.
Oh, I have brew salt too.
Hey folks, at brew salt went.
Let's see, what do I have left? I've got a little bacon, I've got some habanero, and I've got some chocolate.
I'd go with the bacon with this.
Really?
Bacon?
Yeah, I think bacon.
All right, I'm gonna drink half of it and put a little bacon in. So Keith, do your full review so we can
okay.
then contradict you.
All right. On the front end, it's nice and malty, and it smells malty, which is good. That's an amber should be bright and malty, or big and malty. But the mouthfeel and the texture, and then on the back end, there's these really big hop notes that you don't really expect in an amber, which is giving it definitely a pale ale feel, or even a pilsner or a good lager feel. So it's really kind of a mystery beer as to what it is. But I'm enjoying it a lot. It tastes really good tonight for some reason. Probably because it's really hot and humid here, and a nice pale ale sounds perfect. So I really like it, even though it's not a traditional amber that I'd call. What did I say? Made with only the finest malt, hops, yeast, and water. Well, they got all those things in there, and they just unambered it, I think. But it's pretty good. I would give it a 3.5-ish, 3.5.
Out of 10.
Oh, that's right. We're out of 10. So I guess somewhere in the 7. I'm still on the old system. I'm on Imperial, and you guys are metric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 3.5, 4, or 7 out of 10. I actually really like it. It's pretty good. I'd definitely drink it again, but I wouldn't drink it if I wanted an amber, which I rarely do. So that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay with me.
I'm gonna say that this kind of verges, as I was saying before, this verges on almost like a light pale ale territory for me. It's got that hops taste that I also do not associate with an amber, and the hops are more of the hops that I'm getting are more the floral variety than the citrus variety.
I would agree with that.
And it's a crisp taste of the beer, so the hops are not overpowering. It's not overly bitter, and it has a rounded kind of a finish to it, slightly buttery but not super buttery. It definitely smelled more buttery to me, at least, before I drank it. So I'm kind of in the middle with this one. I don't quite know what to think of it. I like it. I like the crispness. I don't like the hops influence on it. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Wow. That's scary because I'm kind of agreeing with you.
Oh, probably for different reasons though.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the hops, the bitter hop that you got at the back end of that was pleasant. When I added the bacon, it kind of just completely took that away, and made it kind of just taste like water.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's like the bacon zapped any flavor profile this beer had.
It's
So
it's almost completely flat now.
yeah,
Nothing against you, Bruce L. people. We love you.
no, I think it's just a bad combo. Um, but yeah, to me, it's a pale ale masquerading in an amber bottle. This doesn't have the typical characteristics that I would think of in an amber ale. Starting with the color, I mean, it's not amber, it's yellow. So I would give it a 5 too. But it is crisp. I did like the bitter on the back end. There wasn't a huge flavor profile to it. It's a fairly, to me, simple beer. But it does go down quite easy. So I'll give it a 5, mostly for mislabeling. If it had been labeled correctly, it probably would have got a higher rating.
Yeah, it's an odd beer. It's not. It has the malt characteristics that I would expect, but the hop is strange. And on the website they list that they use Cascade hop, which is I associate more with a strong pale ale or a IPA.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what's throwing it off for me. And I don't know. It's got sort of a Anchor Steam flavor. It's not.
Yes, very good.
You get that from it?
Yes, I do.
Like almost lagery, but not really a lager. But it's the flavor tends in that direction to me. Not terrible beer, but not something I would crave. I'd probably give it a 6 because I do like the bitterness in it. I would probably drink another. I wouldn't seek it out. I'll give it a 6.
So that's a 5.75 out of 10. So slightly lower than the last St. Arnold we had, which was the lawnmower Kolsch, which got a 6. So they're right in the same neighborhood for both of them. Beer Advocate, interestingly enough, gives it an 81.
Yeah, it's very, very high.
But it's only got 380 ratings on Beer Advocate, and none of the bros have rated it. So, but still, I mean, to me, that's a pretty high rating for this particular beer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and all of us, usually we don't necessarily all agree, but we were all right in that line. I mean, 5, 6, 7, those were our ratings, and sometimes we've had beers that have been an 8 and a 1.
Yeah.
Who was, rating it. So one of the few beers that we were all kind of in the same range on. So you got to toast St. Arnold's for that.
I think it's probably a pretty safe beer. I think a lot of people would drink this.
That's a good word for it.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more that steam, Anchor Steam profiles kind of fits in there.
Yeah.
It does kind of have that weird Anchor Steam kind of aftertaste to it too. That doesn't quite know what kind of beer it is. It's trying to be its own beer, but it's not. Which again, I kind of like Anchor Steam, so that still supports my 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and my understanding from around here is that the amber is not their most popular, but it's up there in terms of the St. Arnold's beer. So interesting. We've got one more, I think, from the St. Arnold's guys, right?
Nope, that's it.
That was it.
Well, these roars.
Roars.
Roars. So we got to do.
That's right. I just have ones in my fridge.
I have a bunch of beers that I'm getting ready to send out. So we will continue on with summer beers well into August, I think.
But we do have to do our surprise. I don't necessarily think we have to save it for when someone's out, because it is a summery thing. I just think we need to do it. I mean, I'm sure someone will be out at some point.
Okay, Rob, we'll do it whenever you want.
Thank you. All right, so on to our pint.
Move on.
You heard
God's
him
sake.
say it. On to our topics for this evening. Keith actually, I believe, put up our topics for tonight.
I did, and surprisingly, it didn't get bumped.
No.
I didn't. I kind of just filled them in to be to be fill-ins for whenever
Yeah,
you need anything.
that's mostly out of laziness because none of us wanted to edit. We have a gentleman by the name of shoot, what's his name? Michael Thomason, and he's a bit of a collector. He collected the largest video game collection ever to date, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, and he has now sold off his collection for a whopping $750,000. And he supposedly has almost every video game system, electronic game ever created. And I either feel really happy for him that he's made a lot of money or really sad.
Well, I don't know as he made any money.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Because, honestly, $750,000 sounds way low for a collection that size. And also, he talks about that he spent at least $3,000 a year putting this together. And I didn't get a clear picture of how long, but I have a feeling it's not enough to cover.
But he doesn't look like that old of a guy.
Well, it says the buyer got the collection at a bargain.
Yeah.
So.
But if you spend $3,000 a year, it will take you 250 years to spend $750,000.
I suppose. I don't know how. He says it was $3,000 a year. I can't believe he would have amassed that much with only $3,000 a year.
They might have dropped to zero on that $3,000, maybe $30,000.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was under five, you're still looking at 150 years to collect that value. But I can't believe that unless he was getting some hella good deals.
All right, so I found out some more information.
I think I don't know. It still seems light. The 750,000 still seems way light to me.
He had over 11,000 games sold,
which is not everything.
Which rounds out to about $68 per game, which is I mean, it doesn't take into account gaming systems.
Yeah.
At least if you're talking about just video games, that would be a profit because most, even high-end Xbox and PlayStation games sell for about $60.
But he's got game console. I mean, the picture on the article
he's got consoles for everything.
He's got consoles.
And he's obviously gone back and bought old stuff too to be able to make this collection up. I mean, he's got you got to think of all the handhelds are included in this too. Nintendo Game Boys, DSs, DSIs.
That's interesting. I wonder what they consider.
3DSs. I mean, they're all in there.
I wonder what they consider a game. There's all those like Leapfrog games for kids and stuff like that. I mean, I wonder if those are...
Game Boy, Nintendo, everything.
And there's a ton of little handheld things that were just like single games, like way back in the day before the DS and stuff. You could buy those.
Oh yeah, the LED football games and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, are those included?
Yeah, apparently. CNET reports that Thomason has been collecting since 1983. He apparently keeps his games in excellent condition. 2,600 of the games recently sold are still in the original shrink wrap. And more than 8,300 still have their boxes and instruction manuals.
Wow.
Why did he sell? Apparently he did it to help out family. What he said was, I simply have an immediate family and extended family that have needs that need to be addressed. While I do not wish to part with these games, I have responsibilities that I have made to others, and this action is how I will help meet them. So, yeah.
So he needs to have his priorities aligned.
What he spent, if it was less than $24,000 a year, then I guess he did make a profit.
That's true. Some of them must have been gifts. My living room was a photo on the back of a box for a Wii game.
Oh yeah, which one?
Some fishing game. I have a friend who's a photographer, and he was doing the photography for the back of the box of this fishing game, and he needed a living room, and he used mine.
Oh,
I have it floating around here somewhere.
That's
I don't know where. Yeah. You want to get that?
Don't talk while you're muted.
I'm hoping
Wait
my
while
wife.
the phone's ringing, and then
put my
turn it off to
She's
talk.
So now
We have a guest.
We have a
Yeah.
guest. Woohoo!
It's our first caller. You're on the line.
Hello. I forgot what I was going to say. That's a long time to be collecting.
Yeah, it is.
83, 30 years.
31 years.
31, and he does not look that old. So I mean, he must have been doing it since he was a kid.
That picture is probably like 10 years old, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the
Think
Sega shirt he's wearing. That's obviously a picture from the 80s.
Yeah. Although there is an
No,
Xbox.
he's got an Xbox One behind him.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a joke. That was a joke.
But when did the Xbox One come out? That's still.
Last year.
Is that a one? No, that's a 360.
Oh, it's a 360.
Yeah, that's a 360.
He's got. I also see an Odyssey right behind him.
Odysseys
a
are pretty
Loopy.
awesome.
All right, we should
um,
probably show this just so.
I don't see a Sega Saturn. Boy, Keith, remember our days playing your Sega Saturn?
Yeah.
Some fond memories.
If I had to collect one old game myself, it would definitely be a ColecoVision.
Oh, Donkey Kong. That was the best Donkey Kong.
Let me just tell you, for the folks who are out there who are, hey, wow, I can see the screen. For the folks out there who are a little younger than us, the ColecoVision coming out in the very early '80s, you could actually pause your game
I know.
to get up to do something.
What a concept.
At the time, it was incredible.
Incredible.
It was unbelievable. So, $750,000 for this poor Geek Souls collection. Awesome.
Well, all right.
Keith's second two topics are in the beer realm, and rather than take you through it, I'll let Keith talk about it.
Well, it was apparently while we were away, I was collecting articles on PNRShow.com about beer gadgets, and we came up with two good ones. One we kicked around in the chat room, and then one I didn't really talk about in the chat room. The older one on the website is the what's it called? The beer spin beer. What's that thing called?
You put it up there. It's called Spin Chill.
Spin Chill. It is a drill attachment. It is a power drill attachment for your beer. And what it does is it's a special end.
Suction cup.
Yeah, it's a suction cup end that'll grab a hold of a can of beer. And you take your power drill and you're now attached to a can of beer, put it in ice water, and turn the drill on. And this spins your beer at a high rate of speed, supposedly chilling the beer in like less than a minute, without making it explode.
Stirring it up.
Yeah.
Yes. The concept being the centrifugal force pushes the beer out from the center, which is where the beer would be the warmest, out to the cool sides of the cans to be cooled by the ice water, and then returned back into the middle, and it equalizes the temperature. That's the theory, or that's the thought.
And even though the can's spinning very fast, the inside, this is happening very gently, in theory, so that when you crack it open, you get a nice, luxurious, velvety head and not an explosion, as if you shook it. I would have been a naysayer on this from the whole thing, but there's a video attached to the article on PNRShow.com, which will show you where they demonstrated it, I think, on the Today Show or something, and it works.
It was on Katie Couric's talk show.
Katie Couric. So it works. It works.
It was on the internet. I believe it.
So if you have a power drill, because we all have power drills and want excuses to use them near ice water. Why not grab one of these cheap attachments and
I've done worse.
if I may say to our audience out there, just chill your beer.
Just put it in the fridge.
Stick it in the fridge. If you are so desperate that you cannot wait for your beer to be chilled, if you stick it in an ice bath, it's going to be cold in about 10 or 15 minutes. If you can't wait that long, you probably need to make a call to AA. Got a problem.
You know, I would like to think that anybody that would listen to the show has a stock of beer in their fridge that they could just grab a cold one up
Yeah.
at any given point in time.
You
If
never know,
don't,
though.
then,
When you're out away from the house, somebody was supposed to bring the beer, someone was supposed to bring the ice. It didn't line up quite right.
You know,
if you
You
remember
know,
your power drill and your suction cup, then you can get cold beer.
But
at
you're
the
out
store
there,
on the
you're
way.
building your raft, so you've got your power drill.
when the rest of the world looks at us and says, "You Americans just don't understand real world problems," they're going to point to this commercial and say, "This is why."
This exactly.
Exhibit A.
Exactly.
Could be right.
I
still
right.
will end up with one of these at some point, and we'll definitely on the show.
Keep this Exhibit B.
I have to.
So-
It's just too cool.
So if you go to the Spin Chill website, they're offering the American edition Spin Chill for $30, and they advertise it with a bottle of Bud, so that shows you their target market.
There's quality right there.
But if
Because who
you,
bothers to chill Bud?
but they also have a product called the Chill Bit, which looks pretty much the same, but it's $12. Oh, I see. The Chill Bit, you bring your own drill.
Bring your own
The-
drill, yeah.
The
that's just-
Spin Chill comes with the spinner, in case you don't have a drill handy.
Yeah.
Wow.
For God's sakes, people, if you're going to go through with this, bring your own drill.
To me, the best part of the story in the video was the fact that Katie Couric was pissed that it wasn't real beer.
Well, good for her.
Don't ever.
All right, and Keith wants to talk about the Kirin Ichiban, which is actually a very good beer from Japan. And they have actually a machine that they have created to make a frozen beer slushy, sort of.
Well, it's a slushy, but it's not. I thought it was a slushy at first, too, but when you go in and read what it actually does, what it does is it takes to your beer, your nice Japanese beer, and it creates an icy, velvety smooth foam cap. The idea being that this cap just sits on top of the rest of your beer and keeps it cold. It's a little insulating cap. It also
think I would
happens to be fun and delicious to drink.
Yeah, I think I would just drink the cap and then put more beer
No,
in it and drink the next
again, first world problems.
Hey, I'm sorry. We don't all have refrigerators everywhere. But a battery operated, because this is battery operated, mind you, you can take this with you to
We
the
don't-
concert, to
we
the
don't-
to the ball game, to the tailgating.
No,
could take
you
this out in
wouldn't
the
take
woods.
this either.
You could take this out in the woods when you're hunting,
No.
fishing, out on the boat,
No.
and you create. Oh, come on! You are a party boat master. You are the captain of the SS
I bring
Houston
a
party
cooler
boat.
of beer
Yes, and
and koozies.
But you are the one that tells me how quickly the beer gets warm in Texas.
Right.
The koozie
Okay.
only
Keep
covers
it in an
3
ice
sides
chest and you
of,
put them in
of the
koozies.
glass. Why not have a cap for the top? Too?
Listen, in
the
Texas,
whole thing, ice
in
cold.
Texas, the beer is not around long enough to get that warm. It gets
So,
warm in the belly.
Come on.
because it's been spin chilled.
Right.
all
If you
right,
spin
so
chill your beer and then
so-
put the ice cap on it.
Jeremy is actually bringing the show back around. I gotta tell you, you may
That's
have just
good.
saved the show, Jeremy. He next time he sends beer, he's going to go to the Jelly Belly factory and send us some draft beer beans. Now you're talking.
That's
Which-
also on
on the way to
PNRShow.
Davis, by the way, so I drive by
Yeah.
there.
Forget the beer chill and the spin dry for your beer.
So, did anybody click through to this article that he got for the Kieran thing is on this website called Uncrate, which is
Mhm.
uncrate.com.
Yeah.
Down below the beer chiller for slushy
Yes, the stupid
sits-
thing.
is no, it even gets worse. Is the beer
this
foamer?
This is
Yeah, I saw that.
Why would you want to foam your beer?
No. You pour off about a half inch to a quarter inch of beer into the foamer, foam
Why?
it up, and then pour the foam back onto the beer.
Just drink your beer.
To me, that's
They
even
have way
more
too much
inane
time
than-
on their hands.
This almost is like a sharper image.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
have-
but for stupid people.
Yeah, it's kind of like internet
Oh my
sharp.
God.
Or no, you know what? It's
Or
like
Brookstone.
that thing in the. It's like that thing in the airplane. What's that called? Sky Mall.
SkyMall.
SkyMall.
Oh, sure.
Oh God.
All the stuff you
Really?
never.
Oh, this is.
I think Uncrate is in SkyMall, actually.
They
those
must have
stores.
something in here that's worth looking at.
I gotta tell you, I just clicked on the most wanted, and like the fifth thing that comes up is the stupid Karen Ichiban frozen beer slushy machine. That's the fifth thing.
Oh, yeah. This is an interesting website. I'm gonna have to look into this a little bit more.
But right after that is Mindy's underwear.
Ooh,
They're
there
makers
goes
of
the
the
show
world's
rating.
most comfortable underwear. There you go.
Yeah. This is wow.
It's all right. I've got one that's not listed for you guys. Something for the fall as we get through the summer here. You guys will want to remember this.
You
Wait,
go
we
ahead
haven't
and
even
say
had
that.
summer yet.
There is, I know, but coming up, you can't start thinking about fall too soon. There is out there a tap kit that'll turn a pumpkin into a full-fledged beer tap, full-fledged drink dispenser. So you can turn your pumpkin into a keg for the real pumpkin ale experience.
Okay, that's legitimate.
Well, that's legitimate.
No,
If you
no.
had a Halloween party, I can see that.
Yeah. For
That's a good idea for a theme party. Yes.
That's like taking a watermelon and hollowing it out and using it for a drink dispenser. Put a tap in it.
Now, is it portable for different holidays? Can you use it in a turkey for Thanksgiving?
I don't know why it wouldn't be. I'm looking at it now. It's on coolthings.com.
Or like hook it up to a Christmas stocking?
It's
Stocking filtered.
Yeah.
I would think you could use it on anything like this. I would think it would work for pumpkins, watermelons. I don't know if I'd want to use it on meat, but I'm not sure meat would be watertight.
Turkey beer. Tell that to the turkey. All right.
Oh my God.
We're gonna move mercifully on to our half pint segment.
Oh, really?
And dear God, Keith is first again. And he actually
to give me plenty of time to update the website.
he actually has a topic listed. He wants to talk about I guess it's the wee wee.
The wee wee.
He's going to talk about his wee wee.
I'm going to talk about wee wee. Settle down there, kids. It's not as bad as you think.
Oh, you're wearing the world's most comfortable underwear.
I am wearing it. In fact, whatever underwear I'm wearing is automatically the world's most comfortable underwear.
Oh my God! Would you get on for the wee wee? I can't believe I just said that.
My pick this week is I have to make an announcement here first. I would like to say that my family has
You're expecting another child?
has finally joined the year 2006.
Hey.
This past week, we went out and bought a Wii.
Wow.
Video game system from Nintendo that is now discontinued.
Yeah, just in time for it to be retired.
Most of the services for it have been canceled.
Yeah.
But you know what that means? That means the Wii and its accessories are really freaking cheap at used game stores. So, for a mere $70, we were able to pick up a Generation 2 Wii system, 3 remotes, 2 games, everything we need to get a whole family up and running and playing Wii in our household. $70. Take that, Xbox One.
Hey, you know what? If you want the Hannah Montana game, I'll send it to you.
Nice.
You know what? I'll take it.
I also have the Minute to Win It game for you.
Yeah.
And I have a cool fishing game.
Apparently, you have a cool fishing game that features your own living room.
I do.
So that means
we've been playing mostly Wii Sports at this point, but it's my 11-year-old daughter, my wife, and I are all trying to get a little more exercise in our life, and video games are something we all enjoy, and so it's just been a lot of fun. Reliving or living for the first time, some of the past hits. The thing is, the games are all cheap now. They're all $20 and under. The system itself is cheap. The accessories are cheap. Anything that was $70 is probably now $20 for it. It's really a lot of fun. And I can't recommend it.
Really is a great game.
If you can't, if you're looking for something new, why save up $400 or $500 to get a new video game system when you can walk into your local used game store and not only pick up great used games, but used game systems and have a blast. That's what we did. So that's my pick for the week. Go get yourself a Wii. It's about time.
for such for such a great system, Nintendo really shot themselves in the foot with the Wii University.
They really shit the bed
Just
on that one.
totally ruined it. The system. It was. I mean, the Wii. Personally, I don't think, even with the Xbox One and the Kinect system and all that kind of stuff, I still don't think it approaches the fun factor functionality in terms of a family gaming system that the Wii does.
No,
Yep.
you know what we did? They took it back to the classic, simple video game that anybody can sit down in front of and learn to play in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly
My
right.
mom, going on 66, 67 years old, loves the Wii. Goes bowling all the time. The little kids love to bowl, love to do the little sword fighting, and the basketball shooting and the arrows, and it's just a lot of fun for everybody.
And that's the thing. It is such a great party system. Like our living room, like a lot of people's is too. But it's like our central room in our house. We don't have a family room and then a separate living room or anything like that. It's all one great big space in our house. So if we're entertaining, the TV's right there. So now the Wii is right there. So, if you're ever at a loss for something to do when your friends come over, bust out some Wii bowling, man. You'll have a blast. And it doesn't matter how old you are.
You really are broadcasting from 2006.
I am. I really am. But in 2006, that was a $300 system, and the games cost $45 to $50 a pop.
That system was never $300. I hate to break it to you.
$250 plus if you bought extra controllers and got it decked out the way I did, it was easily $300.
It was a $199 base system.
Yeah, but he's talking extra stuff. $300.
I'm talking about all the stuff you need
Okay.
to set up.
Well, yeah.
A couple games. You need extra controllers. Only came with one on the original one.
Yeah.
A couple extra controllers. You want to play 2-3 people. Now you're buying $50, $60 controllers. So.
All right.
Keith, you made a good purchase. You don't have to try to legitimize it to us. It's good.
I'm just saying.
Newcomers to
We're all
the
happy for
show.
It's a steal.
Newcomers to the show. Gary has a short fuse for patience. He really likes to keep it moving. All right, I'll go. My pick for this week. It's a double pick.
No.
Everyone should buy the Wii.
Bring you guys board game stuff. This past, and this is also kind of a blast from the past because this game's been out for a while. My gaming group, we got to bust out the Battlestar Galactica board game. A lot of fun. It's a game of hidden loyalties. Some people play as humans, some people play as hidden Cylons. The fleet's trying to survive long enough to get to Kobol, which is kind of a midway point if you know the history of the show. Lots of events and Cylons and things happen. I won't go into too much detail. Midway through the game, everyone gets more loyalty cards, and it turns out some people may have been sleeper agents as Cylons the whole time, and it's a lot of fun. We had a great time. But if you can't afford the game, it is like about a $50 purchase. If you can't afford the game, I invite you to check out a website called Vassal.org. It is an online board gaming platform. It's a really basic system, but they have thousands of board games that users have created that you can play online with friends for free. Anything from Axis and Allies, Fortress America, to some card games, and Battlestar Galactica is made by Fantasy Flight Games, and they have allowed Vassal to use their images and their artwork so that you can play Battlestar Galactica, the board game, online. They are confident that you'd be much more content playing it in a real-life, in-person social setting, but they really want to get the word out there and keep the word out there for the game, so they invite you to play online the base game and all of the expansions for free. I've played a couple times online. It's very fun, although they're exactly right. It's not as fun as playing in person. But it's a great way to get yourself experiencing the game and figure out if you maybe want to buy it for your family or for your game group. So recommend both the board game and the Vassal gaming engine at Vassal.org.
Cool.
Gary has his headset off, so he can't talk about his. So let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy wants to talk about 5 intriguing things.
So my pick this week is 5 intriguing things. This is a newsletter that is.
I just want to say I'm starting to feel shortchanged here. I only had one pick. Rob
Well,
got
this is
2,
this
and
is
now
a
Jeremy
single,
has
no,
one.
this is a single pick. Single
Shut
pick.
up. You've done double picks before.
Somebody mute Keith. So this is. So my pick is a newsletter from Tiny Letter called 5 Intriguing Things. This guy, Alexis Madrigal, writes this letter every weekday, and every day in your inbox you will get 5 quick blurbs of something that he finds intriguing. This could be technology, science, history. Every day I find something to click through and read more, and I'm really enjoying it. And that's my recommendation. You can spend 2 minutes of your day, and likely you'll learn something new and you'll find something interesting to talk about. 5 intriguing things.
Great. And Gary has a Kickstarter project he wants to talk about. Oh, we lost your sound, Gary. You mute?
Is that better?
There you go.
Sorry, my kid came in and asked me a question about Star Trek, so I had
How
to.
dare she?
She's my kid. So there's this Kickstarter project, and I'm actually this is like a neutral pick for me. You know, we can do anti-picks, but we don't really do them. So there's this thing by this company who Sinek, I guess, I'm not sure. Their claim is any beer ever made fresh on your counter, and basically what it is like a mini keg dispenser.
I heard about this.
Yeah. That holds. They have like a bladder, like a bag, like a, imagine like a Camelback has those flexible bladders that are inside the pack. So it's like one of those that you put beer in, and then it has a little tap on the front, and it keeps it cold, so that you can have like a cold tap of beer sitting on the counter. So something like the size of a coffee maker sitting on your counter that you can just get a cold beer out of. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Not a bad idea. The bag seems like space age technologies. You can store beer in there. They say you can age your beer in there if you want to. And they're like showing a picture of running over it with a car. And then basically they're just saying that it's kind of like a growler. And but it keeps the beer, I guess, cold and carbonated, which growlers, as you know, don't always do that. But then I started thinking, I'm not sure I want to. It's like $300, I think, as the base price where you actually get the machine on Kickstarter. You can obviously contribute less than that, but to actually get a machine that does this with a bag or what they call cartridges is $300. So I think it's a cool idea to have beer on tap in your, right on your kitchen counter if you wanted to do that. I'm not sure it's a $300 worth thing, and I think that my little keg dispenser tap that goes on the stainless steel growler that I have is a little bit cheaper, and I might use it more. So, but it's an interesting idea. So I would encourage everybody to go out there who likes beer, and especially likes cold beer, to check it out.
So wait, so if I wanted to have my Shinerbach, one of my favorite beers, sitting on top.
Yeah, this is the kick. You have to get the bags filled somehow.
Yeah, so you got to take it to a bar and have them fill it up at.
Well, you could be able to get
what they're going for
is get growler fills.
Yeah, it's like a replacement for a growler. But
so
like
you take it out where you get your 64-ounce growler filled and have them fill the bag instead.
So where I could see this really being cool is beer swaps.
Yeah, or if you homebrew, then you
imagine taking you bring this up to Russian River and they fill it with Pliny and you send it to Keith and then Keith has some Pliny on tap. Well, they'll do it eventually.
Oh my God.
So but to me it's the drink tanks is a lot less money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your drink tank setup with the tap and everything was less than half of this, right?
It was about I think it was about $150 with the tap and everything.
So about half of it.
So, and I don't know.
I think 2 drink tanks would be far more utilitarian and useful than this.
Well, I said
you have to put them in the fridge.
It away from oxygen.
Yeah.
It keeps it cold and it keeps the oxygen out of the bag, which in theory should keep it fresher. But really, how long does that last? A growler's what, 3 pints, 4 pints?
64 ounces typically.
You don't
So yeah.
you don't need it that long.
No, but if you're one person, you don't want to drink 3 or 4 pints in a day.
Well, what kind of person are you?
Yeah.
The kind of person that drinks St. Arnold's beer in a day. And like I said, I think it's an interesting idea. I'd like to see where it goes. I think to me the cool thing about it isn't necessarily the thing that sits on your counter. It's the concept of having these bladders full of beer that you can take with you and keep cold. Because I'm thinking about you're going out to the lake or the river for the day, and there's going to be a bunch of people. It's like a 4th of July. You're going to a barbecue or something like that. If you could just have something, like a growler, but that didn't let oxygen in, that you could distribute, that you would just keep cold. Say, oh yeah, here, just open it up and have like a little, kind of like the wine in a box concept. But
Well, yeah. The thing is, when you open a growler, as soon as you pour it, I mean, you pretty much got to finish the growler. Otherwise,
yeah, you pretty much got to finish it. So this you could
draw off, put it away for a couple hours, come back, draw off of it again, and it would still be fun.
So I think the cool part to me is, like I said, the bag part of it, not necessarily the thing that sits on your counter.
Mm.
So
anyway, how does the thing that sits on your counter keep it cold?
It's probably got a little refrigerator thing in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, it's power.
Yeah, the picture they have shows. I should just share this. The picture they have shows the a little LED thing that has the temperature on there. It says 36 degrees Fahrenheit with it right behind the tap. So I'm assuming that means that it would be kept at that temperature. It's probably hard to see. So we'll put the link in the show notes, and you can go check out the Kickstarter project for yourself. But it looks like they just launched it. I think it might have been today or this week.
It looks nice. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they got 29 days to go, so it must have just started.
And it looks like it would hold more in one bag too, which would be kind of neat.
Probably not.
Switch between multiple bags. That would be.
All that stuff in the back is the refrigeration.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I'm sure refrigeration is probably just one bag. So, anyway, that's
a lot of work. I mean, that thing looks nice, but that's a lot of work and a lot of energy and space tied up into 4 glasses of beer.
Yes. But still, anything that moves beer forward is a good thing.
I really would love to talk about, as one of our Topics One podcasts, about Kickstarter, because it's a big topic of discussion in the board game fan group. I don't know if it is anywhere else, but in terms of if it's being effective and if it's worth doing, or all this kind of thing. So I think that that would be something worth talking about.
We should just start right now. We got like 7 minutes left.
Okay. So let me just back up and tell you, at least from board games, what's being talked about. Kickstarter obviously is a place for.
I was joking, by the way.
Should have waited until you got another minute in. Really just crushes spirit.
Sorry, Rob. You can continue.
So it started. I'll just do my own. I'll just turn the camera off. I'll do my own show. To be continued. We'll talk about it soon. My heart's not in it now.
I think that's more than a 7-minute topic.
Gary is my official spirit crusher.
Someone's got to do it. It's a tough job.
So,
I'm just glad the mantle is passed.
Yeah. All right.
I can't even end the show, so I mean, go ahead and somebody can end.
I'd rather have lager than rye. I'll take a strong stout over stride.
Thanks everyone for joining us on the Pioneer Return Show, where you witness sadness, boredom, frustration, and
in the weed.
Overall sexiness. Because I was told in the chat that I look really sexy when it's dark. So look forward to more of that coming soon. Drink more beer.